Thank you, Mr Deputy President. I too rise to take note of the answer from Senator Betts to Senator Conroy. And I got a bit of a chill out of the last two contributions from the other side. I mean, you are in government, you are promising to deliver, and you are breaking those promises and regurgitating 5 years of history about what some other government is alleged to have done is not all that comforting to all of those hundreds and thousands of working men and women in South Australia who simply want to contribute to the best of their skill and ability, for the small businesses that surround those manufacturing jobs who want to participate in the economy to the best of their ability, to the small to medium enterprises, to the large businesses that this huge expenditure hang off. What they got from the other side by contributions from Senator McKenzie and Senator, I have forgotten her name already, Reynolds, sorry, I've remembered, was absolute rubbish. Now, I just want to put this on the record, Mr Deputy President. MPs who conscientiously listen to their electorates, think about policy, are assets, not inconveniences. They are worth a lot more than those who toady up to the media with the latest line approved by their leadership and reflect back what they think it wants to hear. And that comes from an article not from Labor, but from the Honourable Peter Costello. It was free advice to the Abbott government that your woodchucks, and he refers to those in the article, and I had to Google it, I didn't know what a woodchuck was. It's a sort of a rodent, also known as a whistle pig, eager for promotion, say and do anything the leadership wants. And that's where we are today, Mr Deputy President. Someone had a little bit of intestinal fortitude on the other side, try to stand up for his electorate because they're invading his space with what are you doing about securing our small businesses, our small to medium enterprises, our big businesses and our jobs. So he tried to stand up and get a commitment. Heaven forbid that Australian companies can tender for the biggest procurement decision in Australian defence history, and that a government-owned asset can tender for the biggest procurement contract in Australia's defence industry. People outside this chamber, if you approached a voter in the street and said, do you think it's appropriate that Australian businesses and Australian government enterprises tender for the biggest defence contract in Australia's history, I'm not sure that you would find anyone who said, no, we shouldn't. We should restrict it to our select group of international partners who we think we have more confidence in, none of which has actually built the submarine that we need, none of which operates the submarine under the same conditions as we need, and the abundance of evidence that come into this Senate Economic Inquiry and into this Parliament from all sorts of people with an interest in this area, all saying it's a pretty simple process. We should have a complete competitive tender. A complete competitive tender, and the assets the government owns would be foremost in that tendering process. We have experience through the Collins class and the Navantia design that there have been huge problems with plans drawn up in other languages. We know this from our learned and lived experience. We know from the Australian National Audit Office reports that there's an average of 2.75 revisions to every drawing that's put in front of a tradesman. And we know that they've had to rebuild the work. And we know through the Auditor General's contribution to the Joint Accounts and Public Audit and Accounts Committee that the productivity has been mainly about revision of drawings, a lack of clarity of drawings and doing the work twice. Now, I want to finish with this. We have many thousands of South Australian voters, many thousands of South Australian skilled workers and union members, proudly so, some of whom were in this chamber or in this place yesterday, who simply want a fair go. And it really is beyond me that any government of any colour or any persuasion can't see the clarity of letting people compete for the work and give a damn good result.
Thank you.